Hey, it's Nay, and welcome back to Nay's Little Garden and Home. So, I've already talked about the peppers and tomato and carrot varieties I will be growing, but I feel like this is the prime time where people look up varieties that they should be growing. So I'm going to go through them again video by video. In this video, we're going to start out with peppers. Now, I actually have them divided amongst the ones I will be growing in grow bags and raised beds, the ones I'll be growing in my green stalks, and then the ones that are going to be split amongst my or I have the idea of splitting them amongst my green stalks, raised beds, and grow bags. So grab your little drinky drink, a little snacky snack. Y'all know I love to talk about varieties. So let's hop, skip, jump right into it. Let's do the one for the green stalks first. You really could grow just about anything in the green stalks. Now, caveat. I said that, but I also want you to keep in mind, the green stalks are a container. With the container, each pocket is about this big and maybe this deep. So it's a good amount of depth, but it's still going to limit how big your plant can grow. So very big, like big peppers, big tomatoes, like beefsteak slicing tomatoes that can go to a pound, pound and a half. You're gonna limit how many of those tomatoes you get, or how big your plant gets, which will limit how much it can actually handle tomatoes anyway. So the end result is less tomatoes. I'm not saying you cannot grow those in the green stalk, just be aware of that, as well as be aware when it comes to peppers. In my opinion, I'm most definitely not growing like regular bell peppers, super large peppers. So, or even like the really long peppers, because I find that they might grow, but you're gonna get a significantly smaller harvest than if you just got yourself, I'm gonna be real with you, a 5-gallon grow bag. So serious. Which is intense if you think about it. Some of these peppers will grow in a 3-gallon grow bag. Like, it's, how do I explain this? I love my green stalks, but that's just something you have to keep in mind, okay? So the first thing, I just got my order from Renee's Garden. I didn't order a lot from Renee's Garden this year. I have so many seeds, but there was just a couple things I wanted to get. So I got this. This is Renee's Garden Container Pepper Pizza My Heart. Look at this. Look how cute this is. Renee's Garden is a very easy website to go ahead and click on the tab to show you exactly what can and cannot grow in containers. Renee's Garden, I feel like, really focuses on container garden. So if you have grow bags, if you have green stalks, or any other type of like container gardening, it's gonna be so great to look at Renee's Garden. Obviously, you can grow these things in raised beds and in the ground. Just when you have a limited space or you're using containers, you do need to be a bit more mindful of what you're growing. So this will be going in my green stalks only this year. I think what's cool is the amount of information on this is amazing. I am not here attacking any of these seed companies I'm about to mention, because at the end of the day, I have all of them and I quite enjoy them. But I just want to show you the difference in size. Look how much smaller Renee's Garden seed packet is. And it has even more information. I would say, to be fair, the closest in the amount of information would be Am I Gardener. Am I Gardener has a ton of information on his packets, but I'm just showing you the difference in size for the average. Like some of these are huge, and some of them do have a lot of information, but some of them also just, whatever. And what makes it so, which is very ingenious in my opinion, is the fact that this flap opens up without dropping out any seeds. So this flap has information, and then behind it is even more information. Genius. Genius to me. So we have here, I'll read this very quick. These heavy Thick-walled, cone-shaped little peppers have a crunchy texture and sweet flavor with an occasional bit of mild spice that just adds savor. Try the crisp, juicy 3.5-inch peppers, sliced up to top pizza, added to fresh salads, grilled to succulents on the BBQ, or just eat them out of hand like an apple. They are that good. Pizza Mahart pepper plants are compact and produce early, prolific harvests, perfect for both growing in containers or garden beds. So I have 4 green stalks. I'm not gonna be able to see. It's dark time, nighttime. I don't know why I didn't open that. I believe I have about 4 green stalks. The amount of things you're gonna see pepper and tomato wise that I'm gonna grow in there, you're gonna be like, girl, that's not enough. I'm gonna start a bunch of these. And then you have here harvest and use, growing notes, starting seedlings, container growing. So this is saying sow seeds indoors February to March. It takes about 10 to 21 days to germinate. You heard me correct. That's why when I hear things like, oh, start your seedlings about 6 to 8 weeks, like, you know, average, a lot of people say peppers and tomatoes should be started about 6 to 8 weeks before your last frost. 21 days, I'll even minimize that. 10 days, which is the earliest they're saying these will germinate, into 6 to 8 weeks is already not gonna give you about 6 to 8 weeks of plant growth. So these are things to keep in mind, especially because tomatoes grow fast, which is why I'm gonna start my tomatoes later. But peppers take their sweet time when they're first initially growing. That is something you need to keep in mind. But yeah, so that's this. I got this $3.39. It says no GMO. They have a number on here. This is in California. It tells you when to fertilize. These are just great. So this would be going in my green stock. We're doing the green stock right now. I don't want to keep saying that. The next is the arroz con pollo pepper. This looks like a smaller pepper. These are actually saying start indoors 8 to 12 weeks before last frost date and to use a heat mat. And this is saying sprouts in 7 to 10 days. Cuban seasoning pepper resembles habanero, but remove the seeds and there's no heat, just delicious flavor. This is very awesome to me because the concept of, so I'm Jamaican American, so you can put rice and beans. We make rice and beans and stuff, and we'll put like a whole pepper in there, and if it busts, this is one of those things where you can do something like that and still get the flavoring. And if it busts, it's not gonna give you, oh my gosh, I can't eat this, it's too spicy type of vibe. I also like how small it is. It's the red, the wrinkle. It's a deep, it looks like a, it's not a deep red, it's like a bright, but there's a little deepness to it. And I've heard so many good things about this arroz con pollo pepper. There's 10 seeds in here. I might start all of these because if I want 5 of these, right, I'm gonna put 2 per cell, maybe. I don't know. This is a pepper I just bought this for 2026, so it might not need 2 per each cell, but I will separate them. And peppers and tomatoes for me are pretty easy to separate even as a newer gardener. The next thing going in my green stock are these sweet tangerine dream peppers. These are so cute and they're so prolific. They're pretty quick. They're about 70 days to harvest. They say container friendly. I grew these in my grow bags last year. I put 2 in a 20-gallon grow bag. I really could have put 3 because they did not get big at all. This is telling me to start this transplant. I was like, I am not starting this in April. If I started this in April, they would have 1 week of growth. No, this is saying to transplant out from April to June. But yeah, these were sweet. These were delicious. These were prolific. The plants did not get big. And that's not because I put 2 plants in a grow bag. I did that with other plants, which I'll let you know later which ones I did that with, that I'll be growing this coming year. And they grew massive. So I think that these just potentially don't grow as big, because this is saying 1 plant per 12-inch container space, 18 to 24. But yeah, This was just absolutely delicious. I like eating peppers with like cream cheese, with like plain yogurt that I've seasoned savory or sweet, like vanilla yogurt. Oh my gosh, with a little Ceylon cinnamon. So good. I like eating peppers with all types of dips. And I make all a bunch of different stuff. I also think roasting peppers would be really nice, although I don't know if I would. I mean, I guess I could roast a tangerine dream. I also used, actually, funny enough, the tangerine dream pepper is one of the peppers I just used today. So I didn't get enough peppers, which is why I feel like enough sweet peppers, which is why I feel like I jumped up significantly the amount of peppers I'm growing this year. I got a ton of tomato peppers, of tomato plants, excuse me, tons of tomatoes. I put them in my freezer. I used a lot of fresh, and today I made tomato soup with sourdough grilled cheese. I felt so good. Once again, taking out another 2 or 3 bags of tomatoes that I had saved from my freezer and blended them up. It's the end of January. I probably will be done with my tomatoes in February, but I'm still not mad. I will consider that a win because I think I said 3 months. Like I wanted to have 3 months worth of stuff, and I did. Anyway, the next one is this cayenne pepper. They're just smaller, skinny peppers. I feel like this would be it's fine in the green stock. 30,000 to 50,000 on the Scoville scale. So it's got some decent amount of heat. Nothing crazy, but decent. This is saying 10 to 20 days of germination. Saying start inside 6 to 8 weeks before your last frost, with plenty of heat for successful germination. Now, if you are not using a heat mat to germinate your plants or any type of heating system, whatever time they say, you're gonna have to add like another, I feel like 3 days is not enough, but I'm gonna say about 5 to 10 more days, because sometimes these things will take sometimes it take you 4 weeks for them to pop up. Anyway, allow pepper to mature on plant until it is fully ripe and begins to wrinkle. Open and remove seeds. Allow to dry in dark place for a week or two, turning every few days for even drying. Store in dark, dry place for up to 5 years. So this is from Survival Seeds. So they're going to think about, okay, you want to store these, you buy them one time, right? And then you would grow them, and then you would save your own seeds, which I'm going to do better this year. I wasn't as good about it as I wanted to be last year. So those, are definitely going to be going in my green stock. Of course, I reserve the right to add anything, like if I have leftovers, to just add it to the green stock, but I'm growing specifically with the green stock in mind. So they will have more seed starts than other stuff will. What does that mean? So if I'm like, the average plants, right? I believe I need 2 to 3 plants for the average ones. There's about 5, I think, tomatoes and 5 peppers. I will have about like 7 plants. I put space out for, but these are gonna have even more because each pocket only can get 1, but there's 6 pockets, I believe, per tier, and there's like 4 to 5 tiers per one green stock I have. So I want to fill those up with peppers, tomatoes, and maybe like some broccoli, cauliflower, and that might be it. I feel like as of right now, growing, and maybe some like bush beans, and that's it. No, I'm lying. Lettuce and spinach as well. That's it. So tomatoes, peppers, the greens, and maybe broccoli and cauliflower. Maybe. Because I don't think my broccoli and cauliflower got big enough, in my opinion, for what I was looking for my green stock. So we're going to see how I feel about those. But definitely the other 4 that I said. This next section is going to be split amongst the raised beds in the grow bags and my green stocks. So I have here, I don't know if these are the exact same, but they're definitely similar. Like they're the same they're the same type, but the variety might be mildly different, maybe. So this is I bought it on accident, like two of them. Sugar Rush Peach Bell, and then this just says Sugar Rush Pepper, but the flavoring that it says, oh no, it says Stunning Peach Color. So I feel like these might be the exact same thing. There are 5 seeds in here, and there is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, like 11 or 12 seeds in here, and I did use some of these last year. This is container friendly. They're hot. This is what they look like. And this is not open yet, so I might go ahead and use this. Doesn't matter because I'm probably going to put this in here, right? But I don't think I really got these to grow for some reason. But this is mild to medium heat, and it's said to have produces elongated conical fruits that ripen from green to a stunning peach color, packed with fruity tropical undertones. Now, I love me a spicy pepper that has fruitiness to it. You're gonna see that as well. They are chef's kiss, some of the best things I've ever eaten ever. I am definitely looking forward to making jellies and jams that have like a pepper jelly or pepper jam type of vibe, as well as a hot sauce. And I don't want to have to add sugar like that to my hot sauces. I would rather the peppers already have a natural sweetness. And if I'm going to add sugar, it's going to be very minimal. So there is that. Split this amongst the green stalks and my grow bags and raised beds. This monkey face pepper got huge. I never really saw a monkey face in it. They're a yellow pepper. Oh, it's monkey face yellow. They are a yellow pepper, and they are pretty dang big. They're like this big, but they're like wrinkled and they're slimmer, and they come down to a taper. They are spicy. I love a good spice. These are spicy for sure. I think that I grew it in my I grew it in a grow bag, and it grew huge. It bushed out insane, and it was super prolific. And I'll probably, like I said, I'll definitely put it in one of those again. But I want to see how different it is in the green stalk as well. Because I do think the green stalk, when it comes to things like that, because it's only going to grow to a certain size, it might put on fruits earlier, if you know what I mean. Because I did wait for a little while for these to grow and ripen, because there was just so many. There was so many. It was very intense. And like I said, these weren't super small. The next thing I'm going to grow in the green stalk and grow bags and raised bed, because I tried to grow these only in my green stalks, and I was very, very mildly successful. So I only got a handful off, were these shishito peppers. To be fair to my green stalks, I must say, I grew them on my deck, and I have a tree that, you know, throughout the summer, it shades it once the leaves come on. So I did tell my husband I do need him to cut down some more, about half of those branches. But I am going to move most of my green stalks, if not all of them, off of my deck. I want my deck back as well. My kids are older now, so they can be around playing about. And I want to be able, and if I have people over, we can be on the deck. But the shishitos, y'all know about shishitos. Most of the time you harvest them when they're green. It's 50 to 200 Scoville. I can't even really call this spicy because it's really not. It's like a roasting pepper, and they're absolutely delicious in like a creamy dip. So that's that. Prolific producer is hot, sweet, and crisp. It is not hot, but okay. 75 days to maturity. It says it's container friendly. So I do want to put this either in a grow bag or a raised bed on top of with like my green stalk as well, because I want to see if this is going to get significantly bigger and be much more prolific. If not, I don't know. I might always leave a little space for it, or I might put these out later. So there is a 8x4 raised bed. I did not include in my number for planting out my all my stuff, because it's full of garlic and very tiny carrot seedlings that somehow have survived the 4 or 5 frosts, like intense frosts what we've had already. And you know, you don't pull out garlic till like halfway through the summer. So I'm sitting here like, maybe I will have some stuff that I will have started when I'm planting out plants. I will start maybe a few handful more seeds that will just fit in one shelf. And then those will go out when I pull out the garlic and onions. And we'll see, we'll probably get like only one, maybe 2 harvests, but I feel like only 1 harvest truly from those before frost hits. But that's still more produce coming in, if that makes any sense. The next one is the Zabranch. This was one of my favorite harvests of 2025. It is a spicy pepper. She definitely has some punch to her, but she also has the most wonderful sweetness. And these peppers look similar to the Sugar Rush pepper. Very pretty striped pepper. Very pretty striped pepper. And very prolific. It was bushed. I grew 2 in 1 20-gallon grow bag. And I think for sure that's going to happen again this coming year. I don't think I would put this in a raised bed. I think I would just test this out in a green stalk, but we're going to see what happens. The reason why I say this, I think it would get a little too insane in growth. And I don't need that many hot peppers. You feel me? Like I'm growing a bunch of different varieties and I don't need it to be too insane. The Tobago seasoning pepper, this right here, is another small pepper. So I'm going to put it amongst, you know, the different stuff. Look how pretty those are. So you have like this green pepper. I think it starts out this way, right? It's a green pepper with purple in it. And then it goes to this yellowish orangey pepper. And then it finally ripens to that red pepper. A traditional ingredient in jerk seasoning in the Caribbean. Gorgeous scarlet peppers reach 2 to 3 inches long with just a hint of heat, but mostly sweet. Delivers the fruity overtones of a habanero, but with much less heat. I am going to grow every single last one of these in here. It's probably not a lot, maybe like 8 or 9. I'm growing every single one of these because, like I said, it's growing everywhere. Because it has very mild heat, so I can use this for a lot more things than, say, the spicy peppers. And then this is the early jalapeno pepper. I don't think I need to say much about this. 2 to 3 inches long, 60 to 70 days if you're just going to take them green, which for the most part I will. But I'll definitely let a few ripen to red, which then jumps up the days to 80 to 90, which is fine. They actually advise you not to direct sow these because of how long it takes to germinate. It says 8 to 10 weeks before the last frost. I'm very excited about these. I mean, I just feel like jalapenos, even people who don't like super spicy, grow like a habanero to jalapeno, cayenne pepper type varieties. So that's that. There are about 6 to 8, peppers that are not here that I will be growing. Those are the only peppers I have started already. I feel like I talked about them enough, but let me know if you want to hear about those. Those are my spiciest peppers. I have not grown I don't think any of them last year, but they have a high Scoville heat unit. My husband and I picked those out together. I'm very excited about those. Guys, out of the 8 or 2, 4, so maybe 12, maybe 10 seeds I started. Because they have 2 cells each and 2, whatever. Anyway, oh no, I started 8 because it's 4. So I started 8 peppers. The 8 peppers, I am still waiting for germination. We are longer than 2 weeks since I started them. We're leading into the 3-week mark. It's the 17th or 18th right now. By the time this video goes up, it'll be around the 20th, 21st or something like that. And guys, I showed you one thing, right? And those had popped up. There's another one. And I just got the first one to pop up today on the 17th or 18th. And the rest of them still have not even arched their back out the soil. That could come up on the 20th. That is now we're 3 weeks into waiting for those to pop up. And that has nothing to do with the person I bought them from, which is Matt's peppers. Matt has some of the best germinating peppers I've ever seen, ever. Out of all the stuff I start, his stuff is going to pop up. So if you know that on average his stuff is going to pop up, and they take that long, just know the spicier the pepper, the longer it's going to take on average for it to pop up. Anyway, the biggest pile is ones I'm going to be growing in my raised bed and grow bags. And remember, the other 8, I'm not going to talk about today. This is the Marconi Red. I also bought this on accident in the double. I am not mad at all. This is a sweet pepper. I have no problems with having excess of sweet peppers, and I probably should because I did not freeze enough sweet peppers. I froze about 5 sandwich baggies of sweet peppers. What was I thinking? I had some issues with the garden that actually wasn't my fault. That gone down with neighbors, whatever, doing stuff on accident. And so I didn't get the harvest I had even remotely close to the harvest I had been expecting. And then of course the peppers in the green stalk didn't grow that well because I don't think they got enough sun. That made me very sad. It is what it is. We're in a new year. So I'm really trying to have, and I need an influx of peppers. And so these will be growing for sure. And this is, even though this is a sweet pepper, this is also saying start to 8 to 10 weeks before your last frost. Because it's saying it's going to take you about 3 weeks to germinate these. So I will... This is for 2025 anyway. So I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Because this will eventually work its way in here as well to keep it together. I tried to grow the Gosia de Oro pepper. I heard these are amazing and they're beautifully golden. And I didn't get one. I think I accidentally gave the two plants that were actually going to do a really good job away. So I don't either, only one made it into my garden or none made it into my garden. They will make it into my garden this year. There are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 pepper seeds here. I'm probably going to attempt to grow like 6 of these. And if 6 grows, 6 will find its way somehow into my garden. I have 21 20-gallon grow bags already filled with soil. Of course, I'm gonna have to top them up, but they're already in my garden. And then I found 3 to 4 more 20-gallon grow bags. So that's 25 20-gallon grow bags, and that I found. And I feel like there's more elsewhere, but I also have zero qualms about buying another 5 to 10 pack of 20-gallon grow bags to grow peppers, because I find that my best peppers were grown in 2s in the 20-gallon grow bag versus having many 5-gallon grow bags. Because on average, they do say you want to grow 1 pepper plant in 5 to 7-gallon grow bags, because giving them too much, I mean, there was like a balancing act for that, right? So I really want to grow this in my grow bags or my raised beds. The habanada pepper. I will be making cowboy candy. And I think that this would be something that would help to lighten the spice and or use for other things. But it's a sweet, just habanero. Developed to have all the fruity and floral notes without the intense heat, this vibrant orange pepper producing an abundance of 2 to 3 inch long wrinkled fruit, ideal for snacking, cooking, and adding to salads. The habanada offers a versatile and delightful culinary experience. That's that. Now, that is a smaller pepper. I could have put in my green stock, but like I said, I'm not going to. I'm going to let that grow with other stuff. Jimmy Nardello. I tried to grow this in my green stock. Guys, I only got a couple. So that's why this is definitely going in raised beds or grow bags, because I need these to grow. Everyone who has grown Jimmy Nardello that I've seen on this here app absolutely adores them. So, and this is saying start 8 to 12 weeks, not 8 to 10, 8 to 12 weeks. And this is a fine Italian pepper brought to America by the Nardello family in 1887. Whew. Moving on. The Ajvarsky pepper. I probably should have bought another one of these, but it's fine. I'm going to hope that all of them pop up. Amazingly fragrant Macedonian roasting pepper. Stocky 2-inch plants covered in 6 to 7-inch rich red pods. No, I'm sorry, stocky 2 feet plants covered in 6 to 7-inch rich red pods. Now, I think I grew this. I tried to grow this in the green stock because it says 2 feet. That's really not that big, but I'm going to put that in my grow bag or raised beds this year because I really didn't get, I think the shade really, like I said, the shade really messed up my green stalks this year. I hear that these are also really great, and the northern gardeners that I see talk about Ajvarsky as well as this next pepper that I'm going to discuss. So that's that. The yellow monster, I also did not get a good harvest from this at all. And once again, that's on me. Behemoth yellow bell peppers can grow 8 inches long by 4 inches wide. This was not going to go into a green stalk. What do you mean 8 inches? This needs a raised bed. I doubt I'm going to even put this in a grow bag, but who knows? But I think for sure a couple of these are going to make their way into a raised bed. For sure. I'm not even playing with this. I want these. Look at them. Look how pretty that. I want these. I haven't had to buy tomatoes in so long, and I need that to be my 2026 to 2027, is me not having to buy peppers for so long. These next two go together. I did not count them as separate varieties. The Lesia pepper, because I did limit my varieties to about 21 or so, like that. So this is the orange Lesia pepper and the red Lesia pepper. This was one of my favorite peppers of last year as well. 10. Hold on. I don't want to upset myself because I will be starting my peppers soon. And I want to make sure. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So I started these last year, but they definitely gave me more than 10. That's why I was like, 10. I need to seal this back because if I lose one of these, problem is going to be probleming for certain with the problem. But yeah. So these, as you can see, start out this way and taper down. I don't know if you've been noticing with the way I've been reading them to you. I like a thick walled pepper. I find that it's almost giving more meaty, more substance to it than the thinner walled ones. Nothing's wrong with the thin walled one, but these are just better to me. The Ozark Giant. Y'all seeing I like these big peppers? Old favorite. Colossal long bell peppers have delicious thick flesh. They start out green, ripening to bright red. So I'll probably use some of them as green and then let some ripen to red. I'm very excited for these as well. Also, people in cooler climates like mine say that they love the Ozark Giant and that they grow great. There's another type of cayenne I'm growing, which is the long red thin. I want to make my own cayenne pepper. It doesn't have to be a lot. If I can fill one of the small, the organic, whatever, glass container with cayenne pepper powder that I've made, just one, little one, I will consider that a win is a win is a win. Eventually, I would like to make enough cayenne pepper because I think I refill, like I have a bag from an organic spot I get, and I refill it, I think, about 3 or 4 times throughout the year. I like black pepper. I think black pepper is great. It definitely has its uses. But if I can use cayenne pepper, I will. Like if it's just my husband and I eating it, or just me, I will put cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper for everything. Cayenne pepper for all. If we are sick, I will use cayenne pepper over black pepper. And the kids will be like, this shit is spicy. Eat it anyway. It's good for you. So that's all the peppers I want to talk about. I said like I wasn't talking forever, but thank you so much for watching this whole video or even a portion of it. I'm very interested in some of the peppers you'll be growing. Yeah, I am. I'm going to try my best not to buy any more peppers. I do have other peppers I am not growing that I still have seeds of this year. And this, like I said, I wanted to focus on about 20 to 25 varieties of peppers and about 20 to 25 varieties of tomatoes and make a bunch of plants of just those so I can have a decent amount of each. We're going to do that together. We're going to go through the gardening year, which is the whole year essentially for me, together, because it's always one of the steps you're going through with gardening. You know what I mean? Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to hit all the buttons, the like, the subscribe, the hype. I don't even know if you get a hype button on this channel yet, but hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.